Hey guys, my name is Kianchat. I'm a baker, photographer, I have a career and I'm a mom of two. Today I'll be showing you how I make a very moist chocolate cake, from making it to making the buttercream and to decorating the cake. So let's get into it. You just need 3 ingredients: your margarine, your icing sugar, and your flavor. That's all you need. Any other thing extra is extra. For measurements, all you need to know is a 1:2. For every measure of butter or margarine, you double the measurement for your icing sugar. So I have measured out my margarine and I'm going to whisk it for about 5 minutes on high speed so that it will be pale and very fluffy. Margarine is getting a bit pale. Don't forget to scrape out the edges so that those margarine that have not properly mixed can mix properly. At this point, you can measure out your vanilla so that the vanilla can properly infuse into the butter. Sift your icing sugar. Put my icing sugar into the mixture and allow the wings to mix it. This is a 1:2 measurement. You don't necessarily have to put water. Some people put milk, but I prefer to use water. I feel like milk over time gets cold and your icing sugar might spoil. I'm not sure. But I've been using water, and if you want to change the consistency of your icing sugar, you can add water. Now, another good method that people use, not a lot of people want butter, a lot of butter into their buttercream. So you measure 150 grams of margarine to 500 grams of icing sugar. That also works if you don't want a lot of butter in your mixture. We have our moist chocolate cake that we have baked, and I wrapped in cling film. I put it in the fridge for it to cool. Then we have our vanilla base. The amazing thing about this is that you can add literally anything you want to, depending on the type of cake you're making. If you want to make an Oreo cake, chocolate cake, and so I'll be putting cocoa powder into it.
Now I'm going to add my cocoa powder. Now I advise that you start really small. You don't have to put the whole thing. Start small to get the right color that you want. Mix it up. Okay, this is it. I need mine to be a bit darker, so I'm going to add the remaining. You can add a little bit of water, but please be careful. Don't put too much. If not, your buttercream will be too runny and you may have to add more icing sugar. See the color of the buttercream, and this is the color I'm looking for. If you want it to be darker, you can add more cocoa powder, but this is what I'm looking for.
When decorating, you can put a cloth or a wet cloth on top of your turning table so that your board doesn't move anyhow. We have our buttercream that we've already mixed, and now we're going to arrange our cakes. The cake we're going to make is going to be very easy and going to be very messy, so you don't really need anything. All you need is your offset spatula. Don't forget to put a little bit of your buttercream on the cake board so that your cake can stay with. So you trim your cake with a bread knife. With our offset spatula, put a bit of your buttercream on top of the cake like this. Now I'm going to be using caramel filling, so I want to create a hole where my filling will stay. Okay, you also level this one. Let's see how moist our cake is. Some people put sugar syrup, but I don't need to put syrup. From putting my cakes, because it just helps when I'm putting my final layer of coat. So we're just going to put a small layer to catch all the crumbs on the cake. Now after comcoating, if it's a normal cake, you can put it into the fridge so that it can cool. But because I'm making sort of a messy cake, I don't really need to cool it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to splatter the buttercream in a messy way. Nothing. It's going to just be scattered. As I said, anybody can do this method. It's not appealing to everybody. It doesn't have to look very great, but yes, this is a messy cake and anyone can do it. You can do it. That's the beauty of this cake. You can serve it up, cut it up and serve it up. But I'll go a step further to try and clean up the cake to make it more presentable. So let's maybe like a birthday cake. So using my scraper, I would try and transform this cake.